When did you realize you don't really have friends? It started with my birthday last Saturday. Just a small gathering at my apartment that I'd been organizing for weeks. I've always been the responsible one in our friend group, the one who remembers everyone's birthdays, organizes the gifts, and makes sure nobody feels left out. Kira and Lucia have been my best friends since we met at a local coffee shop 8 years ago. We've gone through everything together. I spent the whole day cleaning my small apartment, ordered food from that Italian place they love, even though it's way outside my budget, and even bought those fancy paper plates Lucia always insists on because regular ones look depressing in photos. I'd been saving up for this because, let's be real, things have been tight since rent went up. I even made sure to get those specific dairy-free spring rolls Kira always wants, even though they cost extra. 6 p.m., nobody shows up. 6:30 p.m., still nobody. 7 p.m., Kira texts that she's so sorry but something came up. 7:15 p.m., Lucia posts an Instagram story at some new rooftop bar downtown. Here's the kicker. They were there together, with our entire friend group. The same people who had all RSVP'd yes to my birthday. I watched their stories pop up one by one, all of them having the time of their lives, tagging each other. Zero mention of my birthday. The worst part? They were at that new place I'd mentioned wanting to try. But everyone had said it was too expensive when I suggested it for my birthday. I sat there surrounded by cooling takeout and those stupid expensive plates, scrolling through years of photos on my phone. That's when it hit me. Every single photo was from an event I had planned. Every group gift for someone's birthday. I organized and usually covered for whoever forgot their share. Every emergency, I was the one they called at 2 a.m. for rides, money, or emotional support. Last month, Kira needed help moving. I took a day off work, unpaid, to help her. 2 weeks ago, Lucia was stranded at a bar and needed me to pick her up at 3 a.m. because her phone was dying and she couldn't call an Uber. Yesterday, I saw her Venmo feed. She'd paid for everyone's Ubers that same night, just not mine for coming to get her. I started adding up all the money I've lent them over the years. The amounts they still owe me are embarrassing. Just from the last 6 months. $180 for Kira's emergency car repair. She bought a new iPhone the next week. $250 for Lucia's rent crisis. She went to a music festival that weekend. And countless smaller amounts they said they'd get me back for soon. Looking back, I realized I don't even know basic things about their lives anymore. When Lucia got a new job last year, I found out through LinkedIn. When Kira started dating her new boyfriend, I found out because she needed me to cover her brunch bill while she was between paychecks. They both still use my Spotify family accounts that I set up temporarily 2 years ago. My brother Daniel tried to tell me years ago, "Vi, they only call you when they need something," he'd say. Edgar from work would make comments about how I'm always running around fixing everyone else's problems. I didn't want to see it. I kept making excuses for them, kept being the reliable friend. When I finally turned my phone off and stopped looking at their stories, I realized I couldn't remember the last time either of them had asked me how I was doing. Like, really asked. When my mom was in the hospital for her surgery last year, neither of them checked in. But 3 days later, Kira needed me to pick up her sister from the airport because, "You're so good with directions." The final straw wasn't even the birthday party. Yesterday morning, I got a text from Lucia asking if I could help her move next weekend because, "You're so good at organizing things." No mention of my birthday. No acknowledgement that they'd all ditched me. Just another request for help. I've spent the past week thinking about what real friendship should look like. I always thought being needed meant being valued. I'm done being everyone's backup plan and emergency contact. I haven't responded to any of their messages since. Oh yes, suddenly they're all concerned about why I'm being distant. For the first time in 8 years, I'm not available to fix someone else's crisis. It feels terrible and liberating at the same time. You want to know the saddest part? Going through my phone, I realized something. In 8 years of friendship, there isn't a single photo where I'm not the one taking it. Not one picture they took to include me.